our guest? Well, she's like Woodward and Bernstein under a rainbow of glitter and pixie dust. I'm here tonight with a first-time guest. She's Michelle Fields, reporter for the Daily Caller. Well, he's so sharp he can split atoms with his mind and his homemade linear accelerator. It's comedian Tom Shillue. And his suffering brings a smile to every child's face. It's my repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz. And he lets his chauffeur sleep at the foot of his bed made of gold. Sitting right next to me, Dana Vachon, New York Observer contributor and New York Contributor Observer. Nicely done. Well, Tom, I can't figure out if he was pro or con. That's the beauty of Dana Vachon.
I know.
He walked around my head 3 times.
I didn't know that it was an atomic bomb. I thought it was a big ball of smoke on Lost.
No, that was one of the things that the bomb fueled. So powerful was the bomb.
Understood.
The smoke is like, that's a metaphor for the fog of the present.
Wait a second, but what created the talking swamp goat? I never got that. And that guy would go on and on and on.
It was a function of poor editing after the writer's strike.
Excellent. Ask and you shall receive.
Yes. Tom?
I say it's not, you would say it's, oh, this is the worst thing ever in debating, but it's just part of a continuum that the debates are becoming more about show business. And as, you know, I'm not a big fan of Rick Perry, but I think he's right. It doesn't matter how good of a debater you are. It's getting ridiculous. And I think this may be the last election cycle where we're all wrapped up in these debates. I think at some point we are going to have to come together and decide that debating prowess means nothing when you're a leader, like being a good debater. See, he's probably a good debater because he just tied all those facts together, and I didn't understand what he was talking about. I would lose a debate to Dana, but I'm a good person.
I could not disagree with you more.
What?
Yes, because who has gained from the debates more? Newt Gingrich. Every time somebody goes to watch a debate, everybody's falling asleep except for the large guy with the giant head.
Greg Gutfeld making my point. Newt Gingrich stinks.
But they're not debates.
He would be terrible.
They're not debates, actually. They're extended Q&A sessions.
That
These
is
aren't
true.
debates.
But that's the thing.
In the Oxbridge sense of like somebody
but they're
using logic to outmaneuver somebody else.
That's why.
It's an opportunity to see how stupid Rick Perry is, and you think, oh my God, that man's not bright. Right? It's not like, oh, like Rick Perry got out-Englished by Ron Paul.
Right. But the funny thing, here's the funny thing.
He has gaping intellectual deficits.
But he could win.
We know that.
You will all agree with me, though. Rick Perry could probably beat Obama. Newt Gingrich cannot. Newt Gingrich will lose if he's the nominee. Am I right?
I'm not so sure about that because I think that I'll get back to that because I want to bring Michelle in.
Have assured me that this will be the classiest debate in the history of debates. There will be chandeliers above every single podium. A giant fountain will be separating Trump from the candidates, and everyone will be going home with a pinky ring. You guys, this is going to be unbelievable.
But by the way, we haven't even talked about the name of the debate is Donald Trump's Classy Debate.
Yes!
It's called the Classy Debate.
The Classy Debate.
And the winner gets a free helicopter ride back to one of many Trump's resorts.
William F. Buckley would look at both the questioner and the people on stage and cry tears of joy were he alive today right now, Greg.
Wait a minute. Who's joking and who isn't? I can't figure it out.
It will be classy. Of that, I assure you.
To your question, when you said that Gingrich can't beat Obama, my theory is that Gingrich will destroy Obama in a debate so badly that Obama will win the presidency out of pity.
Yeah, and Rick Perry will be destroyed.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So you got to have somebody there that is brilliant, in the sense that kids get bored with crap you get them anyway after a week, and they get very depressed and violent, and oftentimes they self-mutilate.
Thanks for making my point that I was about to make.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. No, that is the fact. Your kids, my kids, I have kids. And
that's amazing that you have kids because you look like somebody that shouldn't have kids.
Really?
Yeah. There's something creepy and strange about you that frightens me. If I were to see you on the street, I would try to take your kids away from you.
It's funny.
Meanwhile, I look like I'd be a great dad, but I don't have kids. Isn't that weird?
You actually are both dressed like you could be running an ice cream truck tonight.
Yes.
With the colors.
Yes.
I fear both of you.
I used to run an ice cream truck.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Impressionist.
I would be surprised if that wasn't in another country, and that's why you're here. The question was, I don't know what the question was.
You know what? You know what's funny about Christmas? I just realized.
What?
Now, tell me if this rings true with you. I just realized I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It's the dad. I never got that. I always wondered why. I was like, why is it so funny that your mother's making out with another man? Like, I thought it was about adultery. It's about a father. I didn't get it.
You know, actually, now that you brought it up, that's the first time that's ever occurred to me.
Well,
I thought he was cheating on. I thought she was cheating on him with the supermarket Santa.
Yes.
Which I like that story better.
And she said what a laugh it would have been. And I was, as a kid, I was like, why is that a laugh? Your family is about to break up.
Yes.
Do you know that
Santa doesn't count?
to know him is
Numbers. Is this good? Is this going to help Obama, or is it just too little too late?
It's too little too late. I mean, right now it looks good, but we have 315,000 people who basically quit trying to find a job. But I think after New Year's, people are going to start trying to find a job again, and those numbers are going to jump over 9%.
But where are they going to? Yeah, because there are no. I mean, who's hiring these people? What industries? That
Facebook.
said, well, it's right, but that's
They're
the joke.
temporary jobs right now, seasonal jobs.
Facebook is worth what, $100 billion, and nobody works for it. I don't know. What I don't understand.
Even, did you see the Peter Thiel was just like, yeah, like maybe Twitter employs 500 people, but that's the long and short of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Twitter's not.
I've got an ice cream truck that has a few positions open.
The problem is they're all inside.
Is it artisanal ice cream?
The weird thing about your ice cream truck, there's no ice cream in there, but there's a cot. Hey, before I move.
Is that just logical progression?
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, Mrs. Crabapple.
You were shaking your head, Tom.
Well, he said for people, he acted like we all came of age in the 90s. He's the only one who came of age in the 90s.
That's true. He's 14 years old.
No, I was in the 70s.
I know, exactly. No wonder I don't understand him. Coming up, what do you do when your servants haven't folded your ascot properly? We discuss Dana Vachon's new book, Shoot Them in the Face and Dump Their Bodies in the Marsh. But first, what's new with Britney Spears? Well, I'll ask her when I get home.
That's my friend.
Tom, did they go too far with this sexual harassment charge?
Yes, they always do. And, you know, I actually would have been on the side.
Always do.
They always do. When it comes to sexual harassment, I feel like they always do. But I was on the side of the family when I started reading this article. But I didn't like that they went with the self-defense. I think that's a lame. It was not self-defense. You defend yourself by blocking your own,
right?
Not by punching the other.
Yeah, but there are defense classes that say that if you're bullied or if somebody's beating you up, you go for the most vulnerable areas.
Look, I was bullied, and I never punched in the nuts. I always was punched in the nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
I was punched in the nuts
and that was
daily.
in the green room 15 minutes ago.
I got punched in the nuts in the 3rd grade by a friend, and I went home and I had all sorts of like major life anxieties. Like, you know, I was like, Mom, like, are they all right?
Yeah.
And the pain was something I hadn't experienced before. And she said, honey, they're fine. God packs it in there pretty tight. Meaning the testicles themselves.
And not your uncle named God.
This is the difference between people who came of age in the 90s and in the 70s.
Yeah, your mom would
We
never...
didn't talk to our mothers about our nuts.
Yes, Bill testicles.
It was Rousseau who said that the true founder of civilization was the first man to enclose a piece of land, call it his own, and find another man simple enough to believe him.
And that's... I have enclosed my little piece of land, and you should not punch it.
I can't believe none of us are stoned.
I know I'm having street meat rather than street meat.
All right, do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com.
Tom, why do you think Rick Perry would beat Obama?
I think he is a more electable candidate than Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich will lose. Hey, agree with that point.
You are a commercial. He really is a commercial.
I know. Hasn't Rick Perry kind of proven in the last couple of months that he ain't all that electable?
Okay, I was trying to make a point by... Look, he's more electable than Newt Gingrich. That's how bad Newt Gingrich is in the electability scale. I think he's a smart guy, but he'd lose.
Okay. Michelle, Greg, the name of the debate, by the way, is not Donald Trump's classy debate.
Really?
No.
That is the greatest name ever.
I actually might support it if that were the name, but it's sadly
I think tonight on Twitter, when we're really drunk, let's suggest names.
All right.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think they're getting ripped off by their parents. Kids play with toys for like a month at most, and then they sit in the corner.
I have a lot of children, and my general answer to this is I just send them like an apology once a year. You know?
Yeah.
But my guess is that many of them are tied to things that no Democrat would ever support, like pipelines through pristine
So then
wilderness.
it's the Democrats who want to keep the job number.
I mean, we're going to do this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This silly argument that we're having in which we're kicking your butt.
Yeah. All right, I just want to get to this one thing. Dana, you were being incredibly obtuse during this segment. Michelle made a perfectly rational point about how this is not sexual harassment, and you know it's not sexual harassment, yet you berated her, and I believe it's because she's a woman.
I do too.
No, I just like playing with words.
Because you never had a toy.
Because I never had toys.
I believe you enjoy berating women. And lastly, Tom, you said you were on the side of the family till they claimed self-defense. Then you spouted some ridiculous idea that when you're being attacked, you defend, you don't attack back. If you're being choked, you attack back.
Andy, was that the international choking sign?
Yes, it was.
That was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Well, I just didn't like this self-defense thing. I mean, look, his mother should have just. His mother shouldn't complain. She should send the son back to, you know, to defend him. My mother used to say, "Go back and hit the kid back." That was the way it worked then.
That's what the kid did.
Okay.
But you're saying he shouldn't have.
Oh, I'm totally corrected. You, I submit to you.
Back to you, Greg.
Wow. Year-old girl. But anyway.
I need to correct you. Her first single was not Genie in a Bottle. That was Christina Aguilera. Baby One More Time was Britney Spears' first single. But
And
anyways.
it's your first time on Red Eye.
Yes. That was a little thing I like to do. I like to get it wrong on purpose just to test people.
And you passed me.
You passed. Well done. The fact that you knew was kind of charming, don't you think? I'm sure Tom knew that too. I'm sure you sing that when you're chopping up bodies. You are, by the way.
He's not saying no.
I know.
He's not saying no.
I'm just saying. I know you do a lot of commercials, but you should be playing a psychotic killer, and that's a compliment because of the way you look. When you see Britney, Tom, achieving all that she's achieved, do you just whisper under your breath, "You go, girl"?
You go, girl isn't my kind of vernacular. I'm more like, you ain't all that. Or something. You know, that's more me, isn't it?
Isn't that? Yeah, that is for you.
You ain't all that.
Yeah, that's true. Now I could see you doing that over a tied-up body, pleading for its life.
Yes, but I don't.
I think his character in the thing is the guy who takes the collections at a Catholic mass and he kills the people who don't put money in.
That's
That's the rationale. He does it for God.
That's yes.
Because the church is failing.
They don't put money in.
Either way you are,
because
schmuck.
they have their reasons.
All right, Bill. How do you deal with disruptions like these when you're in the theater? I imagine you have your own little weird way.
I think they go to the theater after they murder people because it's air conditioned.
I think they go there because in American life, that screen is where reality meets fantasy.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. I actually, you know, I don't condone violence.
Good.
But I sympathize with this man who did the choking when faced with the brilliant comic juggernaut of Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy together on screen for the first time. If I'm
I think you're correct. It was the first time.
You don't want that disturbed at all.
Yeah, you know, I don't believe you when you say you don't condone violence. You're not convincing me. In fact, I think that if you're going to skate under society's vision of who you really are, you have to practice more. You're not Dexter yet, but you're almost there. Michelle?
Hey, Tom, I see you brought some friends. Any chance you could sing us off?
Hey, why not, Andy? These are my friends Scully Square. How about an E natural, Matt?
Let's take a boat to Bermuda. Let's take a plane to St. Paul. Let's take a kayak to Quincy or Nyack. Let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip in a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder to Boston for chowder. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel around from town to town. We'll visit every state. And I'll repeat, I love you, sweet, so sweet, in all the 48. My darling, let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll look at the falls. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel around from town to town. We'll visit every state. And I'll repeat, I love you, sweet, so sweet, in all the 48. My darling, let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll look at the falls. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it. Let's get away from it all.
I'm ready.
Our host, Greg, got found.
I screwed it up, Greg.
That's okay. We're done.